Hello everyone, it's your girl Lady Naomi. I'm here this week to do the Housewives of Atlanta review. Portia and her sister Lauren made up and Kim almost got her wig shifted again. Let's get started. Greg is out of the hospital again, guys. He had a little bit of a scare. They say that he has the same thing his father has now. His father died from this a low heartbeat. So he says his heart beats for a couple of seconds and then it stops like for a couple of seconds and then beats again. So his father died from that same issue that he has, the complication that he has. So hopefully he takes care of it. I think it's some surgeries and stuff that he could do to, I think it's some surgeries that he could do so they can alleviate that problem. So I wish Greg all the best in that aspect. So Sheree is still meeting up with her life coach, Jack Daniels, at her house. He came to Chateau Sheree this time. She said she doesn't like opening up to her kids about the abuse that their father put them through and stuff like that. And the life coach gave her basically homework saying that, you know, I want you to start talking about it. I want you to bring it up and be a little more courageous in bringing it up and talking about it and stuff like that. So we will see where that will go in the near future, guys. We have to keep watching that particular aspect of the show. Lauren, her cousin shows up at Portia's house. They go upstairs in this nice little white room that she has. I love that room. The fluffy pillows was really nice. It had a really nice ambiance going on in the situation, guys. So delve a little deeper. So Portia's sister thinks that because Portia's getting so famous now that at some point down the road that she feels like she won't be significant enough for Portia. Like she feels like she's gonna hire her someone that went to school for being a personal assistant or a personal accountant. She feels like she's gonna push her aside and hire somebody else that, you know, went to school for someone that is in that profession. So that's what that was about, those outbursts last week. So that's what that was about. So they hugged each other, they cried, and they got over it. And I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see siblings who get along, have fights, and you know, and they get over. I have fights with some of my closest friends sometimes. In a couple of days, we just won't call each other for a couple of days, and then we pick right up where we left off, right? That happens sometimes, guys. Sometimes you have to agree to disagree on certain things and just move on with your life. It's not worth the headache. It's not worth stressing yourself out over, and it's not worth losing any sleep over anyone, right? So Nene's having this big old bash at her house, a nice pool party, a white pool party. The name of it, now, she meets a female friend that was in a couple of episodes ago at her house, where they met at Nene's house, and a gay friend a gay male friend met at Nene's house. And they were talking, they were saying that the name of the pool party was going to be Girls and Gays, something you would never forget, or something to that effect, some weird type of title. And Derek J read her down about that, honey, that whole title. But anyway, and they were basically talking about Portia. Now, Portia tried to act like she was never over Nene's house, but Nene posted a picture of her at her house. So clearly, Portia was at Nene's house, but she was trying to boost herself up again for people to say, basically like, Nene who? I don't know her type of thing, you know what I mean? Or I've never been to her house, I don't know what she, you know, type of thing. You know how some people, they get so big up in their head, they, you know, they like to boost themselves up and, you know, do all that and stuff like that. But yeah, clearly she was there, and Nene had the receipts to show. So she basically said that she wouldn't be invited. She wasn't going to invite her. She was the only one that wasn't invited, okay? Kenya and Sheree meet at a spin class. They meet. It was a really weird spin class though, guys. You know, it was dark in there, really dark in there, and the instructor was like, it was like a dark room. It was like almost like a movie theater kind of setting. It was a bunch of bikes in there, and people was riding. It was like hundreds of people. I don't know. It was just weird to me, guys. But anyway, they met at a spin class, and then afterwards they went out and sat, you know, had a little brunch or somewhere, and they sat and they talked about finding love and stuff like that. So Kenya asked Sheree to do a PSA commercial or something to that effect on domestic violence. Sheree didn't respond and said, I can't give you a yes now because some big domestic violence foundation asked her to be the face of the company. So I think that's great. I think that's a great move for Sheree and stuff like that, because sometimes you need a black African-American face. Sometimes we need that in the world, because, you know, a lot of African-American people don't like to put their stress on their sleeve, don't like to wear that type of stuff on their sleeves. They don't, you know, we've been groomed and taught over the years to hide our problems, don't put our problems out in the open and stuff like that, because, you know, you don't tell people your business. That's how a lot of people from the ethnic community is. They don't put their business, they don't like to put their business out there, okay? So I'm glad that she's gonna be the face of that company, and maybe she can help many more people come forward and be honest about how they're living their lives and what's going on in their lives and stuff. So I'm proud of Sheree for that. So Candy's packing to, she's asked to be the face of Essence magazine. Candy's asked to be the face of Essence magazine for that month, so she's packing. And she misses Carmen greatly, because now she has Don Juan, and Don Juan is not really his job, but now he's just basically stepping into. They find her a new personal assistant, and none of the clothes is packed. Todd has more clothes than Candy.
Say what?
Todd has, how do your husband got more suitcases than you, girl? Okay, why he got more clothes? Why he packing more clothes than you in that suitcase, girl? Okay? But anyway, they didn't have a hotel or anything booked, but they got there fine. She met with the chief editor of the magazine. Candy looked amazing. She looked very beautiful. I love Candy. I think she's down to earth. I think she's real. I think she's probably one of the realest of the Housewives. She keeps it real. She's not two-faced, and that's what I like about Candy. She's not a two-faced type of girl. Either she's your friend or she's not. And I can't stand a two-faced bitch, and that's why I think I like Candy so much, because she's not two-faced, guys. But she took amazing pictures, and I think it went out without a hitch. I think it looked great. Cynthia meets up for a second date with Will, okay? For ice cream. Will got a little fresh, talking about later on, I'll show you later on, a few months down the line, I'll show you what I like to do with ice cream or something like that, or chocolate syrup or something to that effect. He's a little fresh, okay? He's a little fresh. So, I like them two together though, and they talked about how fast, they took a picture together, and they showed up all over the blogs. Everybody's already coining him and her a couple, already coining them as being in a relationship with each other, and this is only their second date. And they were just shocked how fast it got, caught fire and got all over the blogosphere and stuff like that. He also said, when can he come out to Lake Bailey? I'm gonna need you to slow your roll, Mr. Will. He already talked about coming out to Lake Bailey when you gonna have me over the house and things like that. He moving a little fast for me, girl. He moving a little fast for me, but they both are a little bit. But I understand, when you haven't been in love with somebody, or you haven't really, you go on dates and they're just tired and they just don't work out, and you finally meet go on a date that you like, and you get the chemistry is like 110. I understand how you can jump to conclusions and and get a little bit of ahead of yourself sometimes, you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm happy for her. So Sheree shows up at Miss Kim's house. They start reading Kenya down, talking about she ain't married, her marriage is a lie, all that, boo, boo, boo. They read Kenya down, honey. Well, Kim did. Kim read Kenya down. And what I think about that is, I think Sheree's a little two-faced for that, guys, because just a couple of days before that, you went to spin class with Kenya, and y'all bonded, and y'all talked, and now you going over this other girl house and reading Kenya down. Even if you didn't really say anything, if that's really your friend, you don't let another friend talk about another friend like that and kind of co-sign it. So I thought Sheree was, I'm gonna call you out on that, Miss Thing. I thought that was a little shady. I thought that was a little shady, girl. I don't like that. That's two-faced shit to me. I don't like that. But yeah, they was reading her down and stuff like that. And then Kim had the audacity and the gall to say that she wasn't gay anymore. Oh, because the Nene's party is supposed to be she could bring a guest. Sheree could bring a guest. So the theme was girls and gays. And then Sheree said, well, you can be my gay. And she says, well, I'm not gay anymore. I'm not gay. I got a husband and 6 kids. Let me tell you something. Being bisexual, because that's what she is, not what she was, but that's what she is. That's not something you can just turn on and turn off. If you were once attracted to both sexes, if you once attracted to a woman, okay, you still attracted to a woman. I don't give a damn how much God can be, people beat you over the head with the Bible, how much you want to suppress it and all that. Think, put it in your past, lock it in the closet, lock it in the trunk, lock it in the chest, honey. It is what it is. Your feelings towards the same sex is still there, or your feelings towards the opposite sex is still there. That's not something you could suppress, honey. You may not be indulging in that lifestyle anymore, honey child, but you still are bisexual, girl. You still attracted to women. That's not something to say, oh, I don't like that anymore. Girl, bye. Okay? I want you to have several seats, Miss motherfucking Kim, because you can't sell that to me. Okay? That's not something you can switch on and off like a light switch. Your sexuality is not like that. So, girl, please, you preaching to something. I was done with her when she said that, y'all. I was done. Okay? So Miss Marlo is back, bitch. My girl Miss Marlo is back. She shows up at Nene's house with a robe on and some gold chains, bitch. It's a motherfucking Gucci slippers, bitch. I live for Marlo and some sunglasses on. Who does that? Only Marlo can pull some shit like that off. So they was, you know, they opened the door, they was reading each other. Marlo and Nene got like a love-hate relationship. Now, I always said this before. Anybody that knows me knows that nobody can outread Marlo. Marlo is the queen of shade on that show. She will read you into a coma, bitch, okay? So, they was there and this and that, boom, 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 boom. Everybody, and then, you know, they're getting ready. They showed preparations of the show, of the event that's coming up. They showed the caterers coming in and out. People, the DJs, she hired a bunch of men, shirtless men, probably about 50 shirtless men that come up in there, and they were cute. They were tasty little tidbits roaming through there, honey. And so, yeah, that happened. So everybody was there, baby. Lisa Wu from season 1 and 2 was there. Okay, we haven't seen her, and she is so pretty. She was there. Miss Derek J was there, honey. The hairstylist is like the hairstylist to the stars in Atlanta. He was there. Oh my God, everybody in there, mama was there. I was like, yes, I got my complete life, honey. It was popping. Everybody was in white. Everybody looked good. Everybody was turning up, honey. Everybody was there, y'all. Okay, they all sitting on these big white couches over on the end of the pool. And then it got really hot. So anyway, Kim comes in with Sheree. So Kenya immediately starts looking down at her phone like, oh my God, I can't believe this bitch is here. Boom, boom, boom. You could tell with the gears were turned into her head, honey. So they went inside. Nene was like, what you doing in here? What you doing here, girl? What you doing here? Because they don't really use each other like that. They got a love-hate relationship like really bad too. Okay? So it was hot outside, so they went inside, got a little humid now, they're in Atlanta. So they got inside, and they were talking about, then the situation, Marlo brought up the situation about when we gonna meet, and anybody meet your husband, Kenya, and then Kim gonna keep butting in and go, it ain't true, it ain't no husband, you will never meet him, because he don't really exist in anything like that. He don't really exist, and this and that. So she let it slide a couple of times. Why she keep poking at? Why she keep poking at Kenya? Baby, Kenya, let her ass have it, girl. Baby, Kenya read her for blood. Motherfucking snatched her soul, honey, like the Grand Reaper read her ass for filth, honey. Baby, Kenya read her plastic surgeon, honey. She said, don't get mad at me, get mad at your plastic surgeon who botched your motherfucking face surgery, honey. Get mad at your plastic surgeon who botched your sex change, insinuating that Kim was once born a male because she had so much facial surgery done that she's starting to look a little tranny-esque, you know, tranny-esque, okay? Read her daughter, honey, said you sold your daughter out for John Legend's tickets, bitch, because that was all over the blogosphere, honey. Okay? Baby, she read her for filth, honey. And I've always told you guys, when somebody reads you and you jump up out your chair and you want to attack that person because the person getting the better of you in the read, you lost that read. Honey, at the end, Kenya read her so fierce, Kim jumped up and tried to attack Kenya, bitch.
Say what?
Yeah, so we gotta see next week. Kim jumped up and tried to attack Kenya because Kenya read her for filth, honey. Okay? That's one thing about Kenya. The bitch can read. You can say what you want to say. That bitch read her for blood, honey. Okay? She was waiting for that. But this is your girl, Lady Naomi. This is this week's review. I hope you enjoy this review, guys. Last week, Married to Medicine didn't come on because of Thanksgiving, but I will be back next week with my Married to Medicine review. Like and subscribe to me on all social media channels, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and YouTube, guys. This is your girl, Lady Naomi. Peace and love, and I'll catch you next time.